Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Many Rockton residents still have many questions about the safety and air quality. We hear from the Environmental Protection Agency about what they're doing to ensure the community's safety. Despite the fire, many people were able to get out and enjoy some music, food, and carnival rides at the annual Old Settlers Days in Rockton. Some state line dads were able to enjoy their Father's Day by attending an auto show. One organizer shares the personal reason that drives him to come out every year. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michele. Rave. Alexis Carpello has tonight off. Questions regarding how air quality is being monitored continues after the Monday fire at Chemtool in Rockton. Rachel Perry caught up with an Environmental Protection Agency official for a demonstration. Rachel, what do we know right now?
That's right, Michelle. I spoke with an EPA on-scene coordinator to get an up-close look at how these different devices work, including this one right here. He tells me some collect air samples using a vacuum, and that data is then sent to a lab.
Chamber here, it has a vacuum in it, and then as we open up the valve, this device here is the flow controller, and it controls how fast the air comes in.
Matt Villicana is a federal United States on-scene coordinator for the Environmental Protection Agency.
Our mission here is to do the air monitoring, collect the air samples to make sure that the citizens around the area are not being exposed to any toxic vapors, particulate matter that might have been released by the smoke.
And in order to do that, he says they use machines like the dust track, which looks for particulate matter in the air.
We're looking primarily for what's called PM10 and PM2.5, and those are sizes of particles that are respirable. So PM10 tends to lodge around the upper airway and the upper lungs, and then PM2.5 lodges deeper in the lung.
Villicana says they tested for toxic gases as well.
This hydrogen cyanide, hydrogen sulfide, volatile organic compounds, because those are most prevalent usually in a fire from a facility like this.
But he tells me the results have stayed consistent.
Especially now that we're only dealing with the occasional flare-ups, we believe there are no unknowns that we are dealing with.
Residents continue to express concerns with the accuracy of the monitors, but Villicana explains how that's measured.
So these are all very accurate. Most of the monitors are calibrated daily compared to known amounts of specific gases, so then they can make sure that their accuracy is within a range that is deemed appropriate by the manufacturer.
Villicana tells me they will continue working in Rockton until they believe there is no possible threat to air quality. The EPA has on their website where they post updates on the Chemtool fire. A link to that can be found on mystateline.com. Michelle?
Thank you, Rachel, for that report. Despite the Chemtool fire, Rockton was able to host their annual Old Settlers Days fundraiser. This event is hosted by the Lions Club at Settlers Park. The money they raise will be used to help local organizations in need. Today was the last day of this weekend-long event. People were able to enjoy everything from a parade to live music, food, and carnival rides.
We've already had 3 wonderful days here at OSD with great crowds, great music, and tonight with Gabby Barrett kicking off our last night on Father's Day. We are looking forward to another wonderful night, great crowds.
On Thursday, Chemtool announced they made their largest donation yet. They donated $20,000 to the festival. Downtown Durand celebrated Father's Day by hosting their 25th annual car show. This also happens to be their final show. People who took part in the show were able to show off some of their cars. There was even a competition for the best in show. Several cars were featured, anything from vintage cars to newer models. The club's president says he's happy to pass the tradition on to the next generation.
I started in this club the year after my dad passed away of cancer, the day after Father's Day. So that I guess why I'd be the happiest with this is I'm thinking about my dad, but I've also got my oldest grandson with his pickup truck here now. My son's been here, my family's here, and all my friends are here.
A total of 140 cars participated, but organizers say even more would have made it out even if it weren't for the rain. And now we wanted to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We had some of our weekend crew send pictures of their dads. Here's me with my dad, and here's some of everyone else's dads right here. That's Kevin's dad, right?
Yes, it is.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. To all the dads out there, happy Father's Day to everyone.
Perfect. And when we come back from the break, we'll hear from our Washington correspondent about a voting rights bill the Senate is set to vote on. Oh, that was my son.
And we have a system of strong weather coming our way. Some severe thunderstorms headed on through parts of eastern Iowa that will be making their way into the state line. Of all the details you need to know on these stronger thunderstorms coming up in the forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Alexis Carpello, David Greenberg, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
The Senate will take up a bill which Democrats say will protect Americans' access to voting. Our Washington correspondent Basil John reports on why Republicans are pushing back, as he is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. Even though Democrats say it'll make voting easier, Republicans say Democrats want to take control of elections.
What we are trying to do is preserve democracy.
On CNN's State of the Union, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders says Congress needs to stop Republican efforts in the states, which Democrats say will prevent minorities from voting.
Taking away the right of people to participate in American democracy is unacceptable, and the Congress must address that in any and every way.
The Senate this week should take up a Democrat voting bill which expands ballot access and tightens controls on campaign spending.
It's the biggest power grab in the history of the country.
But on Fox News Sunday, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham attacked the Democrats' bill.
They're trying to fix a problem most Republicans have a different view of.
Even West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin has some problems with the bill. He's proposed his own compromise. Manchin's bill would require voter ID, a Republican proposition, and make Election Day a holiday, an idea that Democrats applaud. But Republicans like Ohio Senator Rob Portman told NBC's Meet the Press Congress should stay out of states' election laws.
Unfortunately, what he does is what the larger bill S1 does, which is it takes the election system in this country and federalizes it.
Portman says Republicans will not support Manchin's version, as states should control their elections. The Senate could start debate on the voting rights bill on Tuesday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
Coming up later in sports, the Cubs and Sox have cooled off and were both looking to avoid getting swept in the final games of their respective series. Plus, Kevin Doom will let us know how long the thunderstorms will last. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Over the past couple of hours, we've had a line of some showers move through the state line. No storms, just some showers. A little bit heavier in some spots. Now this first line of rain showers has now moved off to our east, has actually strengthened a little bit to bring some thunderstorms in areas out to our east. But now most of the state line is rain-free, at least for the time being. That is not going to remain the case for long, though, because just out to our west, we have a line of some showers and some pretty strong thunderstorms currently pushing through parts of Iowa. So there we go. Sorry, my graphics were sticking there a little bit. And you can see quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings here also tied to this line of thunderstorms. That's indicated by the orange polygons here. Meteorologist Joe Marino is actually out in Iowa right now near Waterloo, keeping a close eye on these storms as they approach the state line. So he's going to keep us updated on what he's seeing out in the field all day long. Now, these storms have a good chance of maintaining themselves pretty well as they continue eastward and eventually make their way into the state line a little bit later on this evening. Now, severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for a very large area out to our west and up to our northwest, indicated by this pink color here. Nothing issued for the state line just yet. That will likely change, though, over the next couple of hours as these storms continue to make their way, or at least I should say head our way. Now, enhanced risk for severe weather has been issued for a majority of us here in the state line, particularly on the Illinois side of the state line, indicated by the brown color. The rest of the state line, there's a slight chance for some severe weather. Now, some very heavy downpours and very strong wind gusts definitely our biggest concerns with these storms. In fact, at this point, they appear very likely when these storms start to come in, is the strong winds and the heavy rainfall. There is also a pretty decent chance for some sizable hail tied to these thunderstorms. Now, the chance for tornadoes at this point does appear very low. However, it is still there and it cannot really be ignored, especially as you make your way a little bit further south here in the state line. So these storms will be in our area within the next couple to the next few hours, possibly lasting as late late as the latter part of the evening. And then as we head closer to midnight, this rain is going to begin to move out of here through the overnight hours. We're maybe just going to be left with 1 or 2 light isolated showers behind this system as it sort of back builds just a little bit. But for the most part, we're just going to see some mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. Now through the morning and into the afternoon, we're going to see some decent clearing in our cloud cover. Winds are going to be coming out of the northwest, pulling in some drier air that's going to clear up our skies a little bit. So we should eventually start to see more partly cloudy conditions as we head on into the afternoon. And that's how we will spend most of our Monday through the overnight. We're going to see that dry air continue to do its thing and really clear out a lot of our cloud cover. So we're going to see mostly clear skies in the overnight between tomorrow and Tuesday. And that's going to lead to lots of sunshine on our Tuesday as well. No rain expected through most of our Tuesday, maybe just a slight chance late in the evening and into the overnight, leading on eventually into Wednesday. So here's a live look over downtown Rockford using a Mercy House Skytrack. This is actually looking westward, so you can see the dark clouds directly overhead from the system of showers that just moved through recently. So we actually have some clearing in our cloud cover just out to our west. That's ahead of this approaching line of thunderstorms that will be in the state line here within the next couple of hours. Temperatures today were on the cooler side of normal for the first time in quite a while. 79 is the current temperature in Rockford, 75 up in Janesville. A little bit cooler in areas out to our west, 72 in Freeport, 69 for a current temperature up in Monroe. Now in other news, it is the first official day of summer. The summer solstice occurs tonight exactly at 10:31. This means that the Earth has maximum tilt toward the sun, and that marks the official start of summer. That also means that it is the longest day of the year. So the sun rose at 5:19 this morning, won't set until 8:36 tonight. So we have just about 15.25 hours of daylight for today. So this is the longest day of the year. Unfortunately, they're only going to get shorter from here. Now tonight, temperature is going to be dropping into the lower 60s. Once again, following midnight, most of this rain should be out of the area, and we're just going to be left with some mostly cloudy skies through the overnight hours of tonight. And then heading on into tomorrow, temperatures should only be reaching the lower 70s with some mostly cloudy skies to start the day, and then that dry air working its way in through the day, clearing us up to more partly cloudy conditions for the afternoon and for the evening. Lots of sunshine expected on Tuesday with that slight chance I mentioned just later on in the evening and into the overnight. Another day spent in the low 70s, but we should be back up into the 80s for Wednesday with another decent rain chance. Actually have a few scattered rain chances through the week. Nothing really very big, no real big storm systems on our way, just a few scattered showers here and there expected through the work week. And then heading on into next weekend, temperatures should stay in the 80s. At this point, looks like our weekend will be dry.
Thanks, Kevin. David Greenberg is in next with sports. The Milwaukee Bucks held off elimination last night, and in doing so, their star player made history. Hear from him after the break.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
How about this game last night? Talk about a Game 7 to remember. If you haven't seen it yet, I couldn't even begin to describe it, so that's why I'll show you. I guess that's the beauty of television. Let's pick it up with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth. Drew Holiday, who was bad until the very end, steps back and knocks this down to put the Bucks up by 3. Then this shot, the one everyone remembers, Bucks up 2. KD. What a shot. His 48th point of the game ties the game up with a second left to OT. Chris Middleton, also quiet until the end, gets this turnaround jumper to go up by 2 with just 40 seconds remaining. Final possession for the Nets. Does KD have any more magic in the tank? The shot won't go. That is how this one ended. Giannis had 40 points and 13 rebounds, only the third player in league history to have 40 and 10 in a Game 7 as the Bucks are moving on.
I'm in New York again, Game 7, and everybody's anxious, everybody's nervous, and be able to execute, believe in one another, trust one another. It was big time, but job is not done. We got to keep believing in ourselves. We got to keep playing good basketball. Take it game by game. We're halfway through.
Well, just a week ago, the mood in Chicago was that it was inevitable. The Cubs and Sox were on their way to meeting each other in the World Series, and now I think everyone's kind of taken a tiny step backwards. We'll start with the White Sox, who were down in Houston, trying not to get swept in a 4-game series with the Astros. In the second, Jake Lamb yanks this on a rope to right. That leaves the yard in a hurry. It gives the Sox a 2-1 lead. Sox rotation's been good, but has really struggled this series. Second and third for Yordan Alvarez. That base knock drives in both. The Astros retake the lead. They had a couple more. Then Carlos Correa came up in the fourth and takes this Matt Foster changeup deep to left. The Sox cannot avoid this sweep and lose this one 8-2. Cubs are also trying to avoid a sweep at home, taking on the Marlins. The bats have gone cold. They've scored 3 or fewer runs in their last 7 games. But when you can't hit, you got to take any run as you can get it. The pass ball brings home Hayward from third. They take a 1-0 lead in the third. To the fifth. First and third for Jock Peterson. This one ripped through the right side. The throw goes to third. Patrick Wisdom's going to score. Jake Marisnick is safe at third. The Cubs add another. So the streak continues. Now 8 straight games with less than 3 runs, but the pitching allows them back in the win column, winning this one 2-0. Checking on the golf world really quickly, show you how tight this is at the U.S. Open. All the big names fighting at the top of the leaderboard. This one should have a great finish. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Let's have a look at our first one, Interactive Radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We got a line of some pretty strong thunderstorms making their way through central and east central Iowa right now, with quite a those storms actually having some severe thunderstorm warnings tied to them, and that line of storms is making its way toward the state line. Will be in the state line within the next few hours here, bringing us the potential for strong to even severe thunderstorms. Some very heavy downpours and very strong winds are looking rather likely at this point, and also a pretty decent chance for a little bit of hail as well, and even a slight tornado chance. It does look very low at this point, but it is just something that really can't be ignored. And these storms will likely be in our area through the evening, and then right around midnight is when they'll start to clear out, leaving us maybe just a few very light showers overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy skies going to stick with us through tomorrow morning, eventually clearing up to more partly cloudy conditions by the afternoon, but highs only in the low 70s for both tomorrow and for Tuesday. Lots of sunshine on Tuesday. Rain chances return for the middle of the week as we're back up into the 80s.
Thanks for making us your home team. We'll see you tonight at 10.